morning. Today's the day. Today's the day. Today's the day. I am very tired. I am very, very tired. So will you guard the house until I get back? Will you guard the house until I get back? Or are you just gonna sleep? Yeah. I thought as much. I thought as much, lazy boy. What's a road trip without a few tinnies, eh? Righty-ho, ladies and gentlemen, it's new bike day. It's new bike day. It's new bike day and I didn't fuel up the van the day before. So I'm running a little bit behind schedule. I definitely need to be at the place before, is my handbrake on? Yes, all good. I definitely have to be at the place before 5 PM. It's currently noonish. I forgot to fill the van up with fuel yesterday. So I'm currently sat in the Costco fuel line. Waiting to get some tank of fuel and then we're gonna set off. We've got 3.5 hours drive. Oh god, that's such a long drive. Oh, okay, it's fine. So we have 3 hours of driving. After the Costco, I'm gonna go grab myself a cheeky coffee because you can't be driving cross country without a coffee. Never trust anyone who starts a hard day's graph without a brew. That's what I say. Oh, love a good coffee. So it's probably been about 3 months since I've driven and I've been driving for like 2.5 hours. We're currently in the Birmingham vortex. God, the roads are rough around here. I don't know if you can hear the ramp in the back. The roads are bad. But yeah, gosh, we are 60 miles away. I've never driven to Northampton to be fair. But we're basically driven from Chester to Northampton. It's such a long drive. I did think about taking someone else with me to split the driving, and I was just like, oh no, it'll be an adventure if I do it myself. And now I regret everything. I could have napped all the way back. So we're taking a little bit of a break. I'm so incredibly excited. I've not told anyone what I'm buying yet, but what I can confirm is that it has 2 wheels, 1 engine, and an outrageous ability to drain my bank account. Now, buying a new bike is always a bit of a scary situation to be in because it's kind of like a feeling of mixture between, oh my god, this is the best thing in the world, and oh my god, what have I done? When you check your bank account afterwards, you're a bit like, what have I done? But it's fine. I'm incredibly excited. I'm so excited. I can't wait. I have been waiting for this day for like 3 months, the entirety of winter. I've been waiting for the go ahead and I've had many should I, shouldn't I moments, but ultimately we're here, we're getting the goods. I'm incredibly excited and yeah, I guess, let's go. I couldn't be a delivery driver. This is exhausting. But we're nearly here. We are nearly here! I can just drive around.
Do you want to head round? I'll give Chloe a call.
Okay. Cheers! I went round the wrong entrance. This place is a bit big and confusing for my little brain. But we are here. Now is the moment of truth. Is it going to be like, here's your new bike? Or is it going to be a, sorry, the paperwork's not done, come next week? Oh, I'm getting a bit nervous. I'm getting a little bit excited, but I'm also very nervous. Hello, is this where I'm picking a bike up from? Yes, it is.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Yeah, see you soon. This building is massive. I went around the other side at first.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
It's yeah. So in there.
Okay, I'll get the ramp down.
Yeah, and I'll get
guys, it's such a slog here. I feel guilty now for all the press bike tomorrow.
Oh,
it's such a drive. Do I need to sign for anything? Right guys, I've acquired the goods. So behind this black curtain is my latest questionable financial decision. Should we go take a look? Shall we go take a look? A little bit of a cheeky. No. Do you know what? Let's build up the suspense. Let's build up the suspense. Let's go. Okay, so this is the 300L by Honda. Oh, guys, I'm so incredibly excited. I'm so incredibly excited, but it is really cold right now. I'm freezing. Oh, come to Wales in winter, they said. What a terrible idea. So you guys may be wondering at home, hey Safi, how come you went for the 300L instead of the rally? Weren't you riding the rally all summer around Spain? And yes, I was. However, ultimately, the reason I went for the 300L is pathetically down to strength. And I loved the rally. The rally was fantastic. I had a lot of fun of it, and you know, everything it wanted to do, it did do, except for one thing, picking it up. I really struggled to pick it up. And when I was in Spain and I was touring on the rally, one of the biggest factors that made me consider this bike over the rally was the fact that I was touring without luggage. And I still really struggled to pick the bike up. I know I'm not the strongest, but watching that guy who came to help me on the hill pick it up with such ease, it made me a little bit jealous, and it made me realize that maybe I should be considering a bike that works with me rather than a bike that works against me. And so ultimately this is why I ended up going for this bike. Now there were a few considerations, but ultimately it came down to size. With the 300L, it has a smaller tank, and I know what you guys are probably thinking, why would you want a smaller tank? You can't go as far. And truthfully, when I was on the rally, I would fuel up and I would never get to the end of a tank at the end of the day. I could not ride further off-road than the tank would allow me. So much so that actually I was carrying a lot of unnecessary weight with me because I just didn't have the skill set and the stamina to ride that much in a single day. And so it made sense for me to go for something with a smaller tank, less weight to pick up. But ultimately, I'm gonna be putting luggage on this at some point. It is gonna be the next touring adventure bike. And so it made sense to start with something lighter, something I can pick up, something that's self-sufficient effectively, so that when I do end up loading it up, I have a better fighting chance of getting it out of the mud, getting it out of the water, wherever it ends up going. Now, as you guys will be aware, I bought the CB500X about 2 years ago now, maybe it was a year ago, and when I bought it I kept talking about how I wanted to do all these mods and different kind of things with the bike, and ultimately I never ended up doing anything. And so I'm doing things a little bit different when it comes to this bike, because ultimately I've come to realize that you never really know if a bike is for you until you've owned it for some time. And a lot of people have told me that I'm going to love this bike, I'm going to get on great, I won't need to buy any more bikes for the next few years, which is always a lie bikers tell themselves anyway. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to ride it predominantly stock. There are a few tweaks that I'm going to do anyway. So, for example, I'm putting some new handguards on it. I'll get my heated gear. I'm obviously going to get my sat nav loaded up, and I'm going to put some levers on that are less prone to bending off the road. Now, I don't know if you guys can already see, but we already have a little bash plate down there, so that's not too much of a concern. But otherwise, then, you know, little bits and pieces, I'm going to primarily leave it as stock. A lot of people have said they regretted upgrading the suspension on this bike from what I read online. So I'm not going to bother with any of that kind of stuff. I'm predominantly going to ride it stock where possible. Just the tweaks that I do in order to get me on the road. Things like charging gadgets. Obviously, I need my USB ports for my camera gear, and obviously I need my luggage to let me survive. But other than that, it's predominantly going to be staying the same. If you guys have been following me on Instagram, you'll know I posted some orange handguards, which were a bit of a curveball. I've been toying with everyone a little bit. I got the orange ones to match the decals. I just thought it would be really cute. I also posted about only having one key. That was actually a lie. The wallet said it was one key. Honda did actually go ahead and make me a second key when I came to pick it up. So I do have 2 keys. Other than that, it's pretty much, because it's an express bike, it's pretty much ready to go. I've already got like trackers and things set up in it, and oh guys, I'm really excited. I'm really, really excited. I think it's going to be great. I have been sat at home for the last 4 weeks planning the next expedition, and I want to go bigger, better, rougher. I want to go a bit more chaotic, but at the same time a little bit more organized. I'm not really announcing where I'm going to go, but my next trip is going to be the longest trip I have done so far. I'm a little bit nervous because the several weeks I stayed in Spain felt quite long. So I'm a little bit nervous about spending that amount of time away from home, but I'm confident with the experience I've gained over the last few years, I'm going to do well. Now, in terms of skills going forward, I have kind of made I guess you could call a shopping list for the skills that I want to learn. So, I've spoken to a local mechanic who has spare rims and old bits and pieces that I'm going to go pick up. So for the next 2 weeks, I'm going to practice learning how to change tyres while watching the TV. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to basically, I think I need to up my mechanic skills. And luckily, I've never really needed any particular mechanical help on the road. But this is one of those things that everybody seems to tell me when it comes to off-roading, is that you need the skills before you actually need them. And so I'm going to be spending, while it's really cold and really miserable, and I want to spend time in the house, I'm going to be practicing skills that I can sit in front of the TV do. So the first one I'm going to practice with is basically changing tyres. I'm going to pick up some spare rims and some spare tyres, and I'm just going to sit in the floor while watching TV and just take them on and off and do all of that. But other than that, yeah, oh guys, I know I'm waffling. It's just because I'm so excited. I'm so excited. It's wonderful. I was so hesitant about buying this bike, and when I was chatting with Honda, I think there was 13 back and forth emails of me going, I'll take it. No, I've changed my mind. No, actually, I'll take it. No, I've changed my mind. Or actually, I'll consider it. And I was so unbelievably fickle. Sorry, Honda, I know it was a massive pain. I was so unbelievably fickle because I didn't know if it was the right time to buy this. I didn't know if I should be balancing my finances a little bit better, considering I just bought the van. I'm in the middle of doing the van up, and that's basically turned into a bigger money pit than I anticipated. And I was really hesitant on buying this, but I'm really glad I did. I don't think I'm going to regret it. I think this bike is going to see me for a good few years. Now, in terms of the bikes that I've got in the garage, you guys know I have the SV650 and I have the CB500X. I have made the decision to get rid of the CB500X. The reason being is I got it fully serviced a year ago. I had new tires, new chain, I did all of it. And the intention was that it was going to go back on the road and it was going to be my main bike again. And then since that service, I've just not really touched it. I've been riding the SV around because I kind of found that when I bought the CB500, I bought it because it was an adventure bike, but I don't feel like an adventure bike was what I wanted. And I feel like there was a bit of a disconnect between what I wanted the bike to do and what the bike does. And ultimately, it's also a really heavy bike. It's so heavy, and I feel like if you're a tall bloke who's got a bit of meat on him, I feel like you'd be fine. But for me, it was just a bit much, and I don't regret it. It's great. It was a really comfortable machine, but I'm gonna let the CB500 go. I'm gonna throw it on Auto Trader. It's gonna go, Nordcap stickers and all. One careful owner if anyone's interested. But yeah, so I think it makes sense. The SV650 is going to be my road bike, and this is going to be my off-road bike. And I don't really feel like I have a need for the CB500 anymore, because rather than getting a bike that does both things not the best, it makes sense to have two separate machines that perform well in their specific areas. So that's what I'm going to do. And this is ultimately going to be my touring machine. The SV is going to remain a backup bike. So yeah, guys, it's so cold. It's so cold. I am cold, but... Right, so my camera crashed because it was so cold outside. And my heated jacket, I've lost the remote for it somewhere. I don't know where it is, so I need to dig that out. So I had a choice between scolding myself or not having any heat at all, and both were equally intolerable. So I've ended up coming home and filming the rest of this video in my office. I'm really sorry. This isn't the reveal video that you guys deserved, but it is the reveal video that you're getting. I had like loads of fun ideas planned out, like smoke bombs and smoke machines and coloured paint, and it was going to be like really over the top. None of that's happening. I picked a terrible time to buy a new motorbike. I should have waited for spring. It's so unbearable, but we're here. Now, in terms of the name for the new bike, I narrowed it down to 2 names. The first name was Ralph, as in Wreck-It Ralph, because I feel like that's really on brand for me. And the second name is Riley. Now, when I think of the name Ralph, I think of like a huge, massive, like rally bike, like something that would go through bushes and take the bushes with it. And when I look at the CRF, I feel like that's not really the bike that would be called Ralph. And when I look at the CRF, I feel like it's quite a like skinny bike. It's quite a small bike. It's quite feminine in features. I definitely feel like this is more of a feminine bike. My other 2 bikes are considered male, but this one definitely kind of seems a bit more female in design. And so I guess I'm leaning towards more the name Riley. Sorry. But I really like the idea of Ralph. Now, 2 of my Patreon supporters, I will drop their name just here, kindly suggested a absolutely cracking name, and that was, if you really want to go for Riley, why not make Riley short for Crikey O'Reilly? Which really made me laugh. I was like, that's fabulous. So I think I'm going to go for the name Crikey O'Reilly. I get the best of both worlds. I get the on-brand name, and I get the really nice shortened feminine name. So I'm pretty sure the name of my brand new bike, thanks to this couple who support my Patreon, I'm pretty sure they have successfully named my bike Crikey O'Reilly. So it's going to be Crikey O'Reilly for short. What a great name. It really, when that notification popped up, it really made me chuckle. So yeah, there we go, guys. I guess all that's left to do is to start getting it set up, brace the cold, awful weather, hope for the best, and yeah, I'm pretty sure we're gonna head to the Lake District next. That's on my next to-do list with the new machine, so we just need to kind of get some mechanics done. But yeah, no, it's great. Now, if you guys do want to see more great bike content, don't forget to hit subscribe. I looked at my statistics, guys, and did you know that 50% of you don't subscribe to my channel despite being repeated viewers? 50% of you. Guys, come on, you'd be doing me a solid. So hit that subscribe button, let's get those numbers up, let's help Sprocket do more fun stuff. And it doesn't change anything for you guys, it doesn't cost you anything, but it does let me get my numbers up, and brands love that, and that lets me do more fun things. So get it done, guys.
This one was completely my fault.